What's up everyone, welcome back to Brad's Bioactive Builds, where I do step-by-step, do-it-yourself, naturalistic reptile enclosures. I may have additional ways to enter the raffle to win a free 4x2 by 2.5 foot enclosure, so make sure to stay tuned till the end. In today's video, I'll be going over the filtration and plumbing I used for the 8x4x6 Paludarium, along with the start of the first waterfall. Plus, I'm going to show you some adjustments I made with this build since the first video was put out. Enough said, let's get into the video. Don't forget to check out part 1 where I build the Paludarium from scratch. Part 2 where I made the nest box. Alright, let's go. To prep the bottom dam I had to rough it up, so I used an angle grinder with a wire brush so zoopoxy would bond to it better. Drilled pilot holes in specific areas so the screws would line up to the framework in the bottom dam. Siliconed over the pilot holes so when I added my screws it would create a watertight seal. Applied silicone to the bottom dam framework. Set the bottom PVC board into place. Use clamps to prevent it from moving. Here you can see a little bit better where I use the angle grinder and wire brush for zoopoxy to bond to the bottom dam. Used 1 1/4" decking screws to secure it into place. Applied silicone to the outside bottom dam, and smeared the bead with my finger. Hold some measurements, and cut some 2x4s so I can start building out above where the canister filters are going to go. I had to use 2x2s, 2x4s, 2x6s, and 2x8s to build this portion out to get it all to the same height. This DeWalt right angle attachment came in handy so many times while working in tight spots. After getting the framework to the same height, I can get an idea what my inlet's going to look like for my exterior canister filter and how it's going to hang over the edge. I'll cover up the top with a piece of plywood and get an idea on where I'm going to drill a hole for my inlet. I'll be using 2 Owasi Biomaster Thermo 850 exterior canister filters. To replace the media on the inside, I removed the heater so they wouldn't get damaged. Pulled off the top and removed all the compartments. I'll be throwing away all the blue foam media, along with the plastic biological media. Really, the only thing that I'm keeping is the original orange medium density foam. Added some fine pad filter floss. Replaced all the compartments that had blue filter foam with biohome media. This will allow for a lot more beneficial bacteria to grow. Also added activated charcoal carbon. And placed everything back into the filter. To make some more room for where the filters are going to be coming in and out, I just simply ripped out a little bit of the framework. Installed cabinet brackets to the bottom of a piece of plywood. Screwed those down into place underneath where I've been working. Set my filters under the pull-out shelf that was just created. And pushed them into place. This system will help with easy maintenance so I can remove the pre-filter and remove all the muck, making it for easy cleanup. Pushed on my hoses to the canister filter. The hose will run along the outside of the tub and enter the Paludarium from the back side of the PVC wall. I'll show you how I do that coming up shortly. But first I had to hook up the rest of the hoses to my inlet and outlet to the canister filters. Found the spot where I wanted the water to enter the enclosure and cut the hoses to length. Drilled 2 holes for 2 1/2-inch bulkheads for both of my canister filters to hook up to. Primed and fused in the 1/2-inch bulkheads. Held it into place. Installed the second 1/2-inch bulkhead and tightened it down. To adjust my waterfall, I simply use ball shutoff valves. Cut some 1x3 so I can have something to secure my hoses to. Cut threaded pipe to my desired size. Applied liquid Teflon tape and worked it into the threads. Screwed on a 90-degree 5/8 inside diameter hose fitting and fused it into the back side of the bulkhead going into the Paludarium. Bringing the hoses towards me will help out tremendously when I put the enclosure in its final spot in the reptile room, so I have easy access to the ball shutoff valves. Filled up the tub with a little bit of water so I can do a test run and make sure everything's operating correctly. Here's a quick glimpse into the future on how this is going to operate. I'll add these PVC pipes and drill holes into them, put a ledge underneath, creating a waterfall. I'll be using Zoopoxy on the inside of the tub, so to make sure it bonds better, I'm taking a wire brush and scratching up, making a rough surface. And yes, this took some time, but seeing as it's going to be filled up with water, I wanted to make sure that I did it right. For the PVC background, I roughed it up in spots, so silicone would adhere to it better when putting up the XPS board. I also roughed up the bulkheads. I'll be adding a bulkhead right here so I can do water changes. It'll come out the back side of the tub, going into my sump pump for easy maintenance. Before I go over more ways to get additional raffle tickets on the free 4x2 by 2.5 foot enclosure with hardscape, let me do a quick rundown on some adjustments I made on the nest box. Cut some porcelain tile to fit the size, ripped some 1x3s and 1x2s, used the pocket hole jig and screwed it together. Brushed on some Gorilla Glue and added the frame I just made, holding it down with clamps. Used Polygem 1618, mixed it up, and brushed it on. Set my heat tape into place and attached it with HVAC aluminum tape. Drill a 2.5-inch hole on the inside of the nest box going to the outside of the enclosure. To protect everything from the hole I just drilled out, I brushed on more 1618 epoxy. I also added a second hole so I can vent out unwanted heat. Stuck on HVAC aluminum tape to deflect heat. Applied weather stripping all around the inside of the frame that will act as a gasket. Drilled some pilot holes for my screws. And set my screws. Placed the DIY heat mat into the nest box, put the cord through the hole coming out of the enclosure, and pressed it against the wall. I did install the porcelain tile backwards just so the heat tape had more surface area to warm up. I plugged it in to see how warm it would get. It got about 95 degrees before I pulled the plug. Drilled a hole for my thermostat probe and pushed the probe through. Later in the series, I'll mount the probe to the wall right at my target zone. Thermostat set at 90 degrees. For more ways to get more raffle tickets to win the free 4x2 by 2.5 foot enclosure with hardscape, I'd like to pay it forward. Simply subscribe to Will Exotic, Ravishing Reptiles, and Riddler Reptiles. Take a screenshot and send it to my Instagram. I'll post all their information down in the description below. Plus, in the near future, I'm going to be uploading a 36 by 18 by 18 super simple, easy tutorial Paludarium build. I'm even more excited to show you the rare animal that's going to be going inside. My Patreons already know. Make sure to stay tuned to this series. It's going to get super interesting here in the next few videos. If you made it this far in the video, please do me the favor, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps this channel continue to grow. For the first videos in the series, check out this playlist right up here. For the next video in the series, check it out right there. For some other videos you might like, check it out right here. Thanks for watching.